Welcome to Listen.
Teacher Chatter.
This is Robin.
And Jill.
And we're back together again.
I know.
I know.
So we are kind of doing an every other week. We have some special things coming out on
Yes.
the off weeks that you guys should be really excited about.
I'm actually really
I know,
excited
we're really
about it.
excited. I don't know. We'll tell you maybe next time.
Let me just tell you about Jill. I love her because, especially with this new job and stuff, I feel like she's really thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
I love when she tells me things and I can't help but get excited. Like,
Now,
it's exciting.
This particular one, Robin was nervous about,
Yeah.
she said. Because, hey, guys, okay, we need to also tell you that
You will not believe this.
yeah. Well, one, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. This is also posted on YouTube. But one of our Facebook videos, our reels, is at 87. Actually, I think more than 87.
Yeah, I think it's
1,000 views.
88,000 views.
Yeah, 88,000 views.
No, 1,000 might be myself watching it over and over again. So I feel like we should maybe say 86,000 views.
Oh.
But it is the squirrel one if you have not seen it.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, like, it is just awful. So when she came in and said she had a great idea, it's like, she's going to stay behind me and scare me every day with another animal. So I was a little panicky, but she said that's not it. So.
And I am resurfacing. I didn't tell you this.
Oh, no.
I am resurfacing some of the greatest hits. Because early on, we did a lot of TikTok videos, but they weren't going to Facebook. And so I'm transferring them over. So just be on the lookout for some fun videos with Robin.
Or you know what? Don't look on.
Oh, they're fabulous. It's so good. So all to say, exciting things coming up. So be listening, watching, seeing, following us on social because it's going to be coming there.
Because we're going to make your life better.
Oh, yes, we are.
It's very exciting.
Oh, man, the questions we're going to have from people now.
Okay. Anyway. All right. Highs and lows.
Yeah. So I'm going to start with my low, which there's some highs in it, but, that's usually how that goes. So my boys, they play football. They've had their games. They've had their first games out of the way. And there's been some really exciting things. Ray scored touchdown. Nash had some good runs. Cruz scored touchdowns. But the negative is Cruz busted 2 of his teeth.
Oh, I saw that.
Mom and dad fail. I should just say mom, but I'm going to throw Sean in too. So parent fail because he plays flag football. We're not always consistent about him having a mouth guard and he did not. And he is a very aggressive child. And he went for a flag and he just hit somebody. And so he busted 2 of his teeth. The good news is the dentist got him in and they look much better. But it is going to be a thing for a while, just like,
that's awful.
It is awful. But he's a trooper.
The good news is I don't think it probably would have bothered him, did it?
It did. Well, he also had school pictures. With those teeth, and
so you always have memories.
Well, you can't tell in the pictures because the worst one is the bottom, and it's a little further back, and so there were a lot of fortunate things with it too. But mom failed. My bad. Yeah. Sorry, son. My positive or my high for the week is that I'm in my new position, and things are different, and you don't always know how kids feel about you, and you don't have as many parent interactions and stuff. And so one, I am loving my job. I've told multiple people, I'm like, this job is made for me. Like I love it. But I had a parent come up to me. She works in the district as well. And she's like, hey, I wanted to tell you that my daughter came home and she was just like, I love Mrs. Weedle.
Aww.
And she said, she goes, I know you've got this new position. She goes, but you need to know that my daughter is so excited to go to the library and just loves any of her time spent with you. And it did.
That is the best.
It made my day because I was like,
best.
That's part of the interactions that you don't always get. And I'm loving my time with the kids.
But you don't always get to hear that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And so just to think and I'm getting to see kids a lot, like in the halls and all the places. And so I'm getting kind of the best of all worlds. So I'm probably going to say how much I love my job. Now people really want my job. I am in for the long haul, people.
She's got a long time to retire. Yeah, she's not going nowhere.
It's like 12 years.
So you know
something.
What? Step back.
Yeah.
And don't find it in another district if you need to, but don't come here.
Yeah. But anyway, so that was really sweet.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, my low is, I work with a lot of ADHD kids.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're very honest and they're very detail-oriented people. Okay, they don't miss anything, and so I'm very fortunate that I have a I'm going to call it a breakfast club, you know?
Yeah.
I sit at breakfast with some of my favorite friends.
Yeah.
Because they don't always know how to make the right decision. But they really think it's just because I love coming and we have a good time. And we have lots of other friends and stuff. So one of my favorite little buddies that I do love to death looked at me this week and said, "What's on your forehead?" And I was like, "I don't know." So I was like rubbing it like crazy. And I was like, is there a mark? And he's like, "No, these lines right here." And I said, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "You've got like lines right here." And I was like, "Oh, those are wrinkles." And he's like, how do you get those wrinkles? How are they there? And I wanted to say, for kids like you.
Oh my God.
But I was like,
so
and you know how you never noticed anything before. And now I'm like, wow.
Oh gosh, I noticed my wrinkles.
I don't. And I'm like, they totally are there. Like,
Man.
but it kind of put things in perspective.
Yeah.
You know, when you think you're 23, you don't have wrinkles. But when your child points it out and really wants to talk about it for a long time, I was like, okay, enough about the wrinkles. Let's go back to the breakfast pizza. That's delicious.
There is a positive in the fact that you've not really ever noticed your wrinkles, because I'm a little younger than you, and I notice my wrinkles. I told Sean the other day, like, which I'm just so expressive with my face that all of it comes together. And I was like, I mean, I don't do Botox or any of that stuff, but I was like, I may need to just here because where the sun's out, I squint. And so I've got like lines that are white on my face because of my wrinkles. And I'm like, I may just need to do Botox there and then tan those and then let it go.
Well, I don't do Botox. I do donuts. See how it fills? It fills in right here. But for some reason, it's not filling the ones up here. So anyway, I'm like, woo. So anyway.
Donuts will do it, huh? Well,
listen.
You don't have to tell me twice.
This week this is not really a low, but we had a rough time, and there was a kid that was upset, and he was kind of grabbing, and one of the other teachers said, "Oh, move, Robin." I said, "Honey, those are thick. He's not gonna get a hold of that." I was like, "That leg's thick. He got his little bitty hand's not gonna die. Don't you worry about me one bit. Don't you worry."
Oh god.
So anyway, that's been my low. I found I had 3 wrinkles on my forehead, and I noticed I probably do this, so it's okay.
I wish I had 3. Gosh.
I'll bring a donut for you tomorrow. Anyway, our next date is my high is went to a bingo and barbecue with there's 12 of us coming from the school, and it is just a fun night. It's a fundraiser for, I think, the Rotary Club. I don't know what really that is, but I'm sure it's very exciting.
They help the community.
Yeah, and I like to help the community.
Yes.
And I can eat out because I'm helping the community. I need to know that.
That counts, Robin. That counts in your eating
helping
out.
The community?
No. It counts as you're eating out. How's
now,
that
listen,
going?
Nikki Garner told me that since I'm paying bingo, my food's included. So I like the way she's thinking.
Man.
Now, if I was going to eat afterwards, if I was going to eat beforehand, then it wouldn't count. But anyway, it was fun times, and that's really a high. I'm excited. I hope I win big.
Oh.
So.
Hey, was there something that happened with the national anthem this week for you? I heard something.
You did?
I did. Yeah.
How'd you hear about it?
I hear things.
Yes.
Yeah, you want to talk about that?
The little girl?
I don't know. I don't know the story. All I know is Robin needs to tell you about the national anthem.
9/11 was this week.
Yes.
Last week.
Yes.
And so I was in the breakfast club. So most of the kids were gone. And so we're like all standing up. They said this time instead of just doing the pledge, we did the national anthem. Yeah. So we have our hands across. And so in the front row, there's one little girl. And as we're doing this, the little girl realized she needs to be doing something as she's eating breakfast. So she bows her head, and then she lifts her hand up to heaven and closes her eye like, yes, I see that hand. I love Jesus. Yes. And that finger's in the air. And then she bows her head again. And then she's like, yes. Yes, and sticks that finger up like praising God. We got so tickled. The counselor and I got so tickled because she was so sincere. She didn't know what she was supposed to be doing, but she still wanted to eat breakfast. Yeah. But she was praying. She was lifting her finger to God and praying again.
Eating a little bit. She's like, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Wow,
So that was good.
That's awesome.
And also another funny thing. I had some funny things this week also. I had a kid today come to me and said, Mrs. Hammonds, I need to ask you a question. I was worried about the wrinkles. So I was like, go ahead. I got wrinkles. He's like, are you more important than the principals? Yes, I am. That's a very good question. I'm glad you asked me. Feel free to tell your friends and your teacher. Yes, feel free. So anyway.
I agree. I think that you're more important.
I feel like if he notices, then other people should notice that.
They already have. They haven't even asked the question because they already know the answer.
So I'm living my best life. Living my best life.
Wow. All right. That's some good stuff.
Listen, it has been good.
Oh, that has been.
All right. So this week, we actually have a theme this week.
We have a theme.
Congratulations. We actually have a theme. There's a reason for our talking today.
Yes. Well, our theme is going to be teacher types.
Yes.
So we all know that there are different personalities out there in the world, but there are these like known teacher types.
And you know them.
Yeah, and you are one of them.
Yes. And usually the opposite of what you are drives you crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's so true.
Like you're like, oh, that's so irritating. and then I'm sure people are saying what you are is like, that's so irritating.
Really
So
irritating.
we thought we would talk and laugh about it. Different teacher types. Okay. You want to start it?
Yes. My first teacher type is the rule follower. And then you also have the anti-rule follower. So the rule follower is going to be that person that whatever is sent out by the principal, anybody, they are doing that exact thing. Example might be like, if the principal says like only one kid can go to the bathroom at a time, no other child is leaving that room.
That one
they might pee their pants because they're not leaving because they've said one person. But then your anti one is like
the whole class.
Yeah, with no teacher, like, or 5 kids go at the same time, you know, and I do think there's an in between.
I was gonna say, I actually feel like I'm an in between.
Me too,
because I really am a rule follower, but I also know how close to stretch the line a little bit. Yeah, you know what I mean, like the safety grade.
There are some stupid rules.
Stupid idiot rules.
Stupid idiot rules. And the stupid idiot rules, I act like don't exist.
Yes, because they are ridiculous. Yes. Here's a perfect one for this week.
Yeah.
We got it was picture day.
Yes.
We got 1 billion emails that say what? Do not wear green. Guess what I wore for picture day?
Okay. So
listen, I did not even cross my mind, and my principal, Dr. Wallace, said, I see where you're the behavior interventionist, how you're rebellious in your own way. I'm like, you tell me green, I'll show you green. You don't tell me I can't wear green.
Oh,
I don't know why I thought it.
It's because she bragged about you looking good in green.
Yes, and she just kept consistent with it. And when someone keeps on, then I just block it out. But anyway, yes, I'm closer to the follow. I'm closer to a rule follower. I really am. But I do push them.
There's some, like, if it were the bathroom situation, I'd be like 1, but then I'd be like, if that kid really needs to go, they can go. Yes. You know, like, that's going to be me. So, all right, what's one of yours?
The people that are late. Only come like if they have to be there at 8, they're always there at 8:03, 8:05,
8:10.
8:10.
Oh, the late arrivals.
And then you have the people that are usually really early. And then I guess there's always a middle ground to all this.
Yeah. So we have extremes, like in life or politics.
Yes.
Do
not get into politics.
You have extreme ends, and then you have several that are in between.
Healthy.
Yeah, healthy in between.
So what are you?
With the late or early? Yeah. I think I'm an in-between. I would prefer to be a little bit early, so I'm not late.
Yeah.
But my husband may not agree with this. I think he's a late kind of a person. Yeah. He's like at the line or maybe a couple minutes. And honestly, I don't want to be that. I want to be early, expect to be early, and then if I show up on time, then it's okay. I don't want to be late.
I'm way early. I'm a way early girl. Like, we don't have to be here till 8. I'm here at 7:20.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 7:30. Never later than 7:30. If I'm past 7:30, listen. Yes.
Whoa, no, I'm not. No, not even close to that. I'm like, when I was saying early, I was like, maybe 10 minutes. Yeah, maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes.
Oh no, I'm early. Now, I will have to say my kids are older.
Yeah.
So that does help. But I'm a person that when I'm up and dressed, I'm heading to school. I don't like to sit around and watch TV. I don't like to
sleep longer.
But what if I run late? But listen.
Have you been running late?
No.
Why are you thinking you're going to run late?
My husband is like,
is he already up?
Yes, he's already up. But that's not even that. He is so anal about things. He's always right on time or a little late. We're opposite personalities. It drives me crazy. I'm like, I would never be right on time. That's late to me. 8:00 is late to me.
It gets me a little antsy whenever we're getting like too
I went to the dentist this morning at 7:00, and I got here at like 3 till 8. And my heart was racing, even though I don't even have to be here. Kids don't even come till 8:15.
Oh my
gosh.
I
was panicking because I felt like. But listen.
Okay, so my next one is the problem solving teacher versus the someone else needs to solve my problems teacher.
Lord.
So you have the ones that like they don't go. Yeah, I know.
Don't get me started.
I know. Like Robin's.
I'm starting to get
I know. I'm sorry. I just had to bring it up. You have the people that rarely have to go to admin or their support team like for things because they are working, and sometimes to a fault, like they are figuring out how to solve this problem on their own, and they go through all of the steps before they go to that next level. Then you have the opposite people that are like they don't try a single thing and they go to whoever it is. So like it's the first time the kid has ever done anything or it's something small and they go to the principal. And you're like, have they ever had a problem? And they're like, no.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, well, what else have you tried? Or like coming to a support person and it's like, what have you tried so far? Nothing. That's why I'm coming to you. And I'm like, wait.
Let me give you some advice, okay?
Yeah.
In case you're wondering. Listeners, not you. Mm-hmm. Listeners.
Yes, listeners.
If you are one of the second ones you described,
non-problem solvers,
don't go to teaching. Don't go to teaching. You have to be a problem solver.
Oh, I know.
Listen, this job is hard.
Yeah.
People's jobs are hard.
Yeah.
Try to solve it yourself. Listen, everybody wants to help.
Yeah.
Listen, you want to help in your role.
100%.
I want to help in my role. Your principal wants to help you. But try something first, or don't go into teaching because you have got to be a problem solver.
Well, it's a life skill. Like
mother
in the
of pearl,
classroom,
try it yourself.
Yeah, and
I'm fired up about this.
I've never seen Robin so upset. That's like our students, right? When they would come to me with an issue, I'd be like, "What have you tried so far?" And most of the time, I'd be like, "Nothing." And I'm like, "Try some things."
It's okay if it doesn't work. Yeah. Like I just want you to say, "This is what I've tried and tried." And then if it doesn't work, it's okay. We're here for you.
Absolutely. So
that's
I'm
a good
sorry,
one.
Robin. I brought that up.
Yeah, I just. Okay. All right. So let's go with this. The Pinterest room.
Pinterest.
And
the Pinterest room. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And the minimalist room.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
we're the one that looks like they have spent $5 billion and it looks amazing and everything. And then you have the room that looks like they just came in and put the chairs down. Now, I think this is probably more elementary than junior high and high school because I think it doesn't get as much as you get older.
I would agree, but you still go into. I've been in high school rooms where I'm like, "Ooh, this looks really good, great room." Yeah. And then I walk in and I'm like, "You've looked like this for the last 15 years." Like, so I have to say though, and I think I'm again as a classroom teacher, I was maybe an in between. I felt a little more minimalist, but I had some cutesy things. But I will tell you, one of the reasons for me was there's multiple reasons, but one of them, as a person that gets distracted easily, if there is too much
I do agree with that.
If there's too much going on in a room, like I would go into meetings when I was early in my career, and the meeting would be going on, and I would be in a room, and I would just be staring at all of the things going on, and I'd be thinking about it and like processing through, and then I'd be like, and then they'd say something, I'm like focused back, and then I'd be like, oh, like pretty lights or whatever. And so in that moment, at some point I went to some conference and they were talking about it. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, it can be too much.
Yeah.
I agree with that. And it can be too much. And
it does look beautiful though.
And sometimes the rooms are so pretty, but there's nothing going on in the rooms too. So, you're like, listen, you spent a little too much. But...
I know some people like that. Super pretty. Not a lot.
I bet they don't got wrinkles up here.
Oh my God. Oh, but yes. Oh, yes. That is so true. Definitely a situation with that. All right. So, actually, they took off one of mine. So I have the overly positive person versus the overly negative person. So I am the positive person, and I recognize, I mean, it is one of my strengths, and I see it. I didn't think there was anything wrong with it.
I don't either.
Yeah, what could be wrong with that? And so I realized, like, there was a couple of times where somebody was just like, I just like they were just wanting to get it off their chest, but I kept trying to find the positives, and they were just like, "Stop! Like I just want to complain for a minute, and you're not allowing it." And I'm like, "Sorry."
You're like, talk fast.
Yeah, and then I'll tell you at the end. But right, there's those, and then there's the person you're around that no matter what, it's a bad day. Yes, they're Eeyore.
Yes, so true.
It's hard, and man, I can't quite. That one gets me.
That is hard. I can't. Negativity. it just zaps me
to
the bottom.
Yes, agree. So, but both can get a little closer.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to. I don't feel like I'm in La La Land.
I'm in La La Land.
Okay, I don't feel like. So you're on even further. I feel like I just want to try to find the good because the negative things will bring me down.
It doesn't.
And it doesn't
no, I do feel that way too. Because if I start seeing the negative, then it's very discouraging. Yeah. So I want to just stay up.
And if I bring up something negative, then we know that it's a real thing.
I agree. Yeah. I agree.
Yes.
All right. The last one I have is you have the really loud teacher. And then the other teacher you can't hardly ever hear.
Yeah.
That's so quiet and calm.
Yes.
And they're, like, even when they're mad, they're like, do you know I'm upset? And you have me, and I'm like, I know you think I'm happy, but this is my upset voice. I am upset. I know I'm smiling, but I'm actually not happy. You have made me upset.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, there definitely is. There was a teacher in the building once that I don't know that they would have ever had I can't even imagine what harshness would sound like coming out of their mouth.
I know.
Because it felt like it was just so gentle all the time.
Yeah, honestly.
But there are teachers that also have such a in their voice.
That it's
not like happy like yours. No,
like just a bite to it. A little bit of hatefulness.
A little bit of a bite that I think it's hard to also read them because they may be really just talking to a kid and the kid thinks that they're being mad. Yeah. They're mad at him and I'm like, they're not mad at you. They're just talking to you. It just maybe sounds a certain way. Yeah. So it's tough, man. It's tough. Okay, so my last one, and maybe this is because of my role, is the techie teacher versus the no techie teacher. There's both extremes of that. Yes. There are some teachers in my building I haven't had any technology stuff with at all because they are able to figure it out and they are beyond me. Yes. Like some of them I'm like, how do we fix this and do this? Because you're way better than I am at this. And then there's some that I've seen a few times. Yeah. It's just not their thing. Right?
No, and bless their heart, those poor teachers, it's like one thing after another. They really can't get it. Yeah. Like, I feel bad for them. Yeah. Because it has to be stressful.
Oh, it would be so stressful.
I agree.
I was talking to a teacher that has been retired for like 20-something years, but she still subs in the district, and she was talking about how things have changed. Oh. She said her last year of teaching, she thinks that's when she got a computer.
Oh, my. Can you imagine?
She got one parent email and a few messages from the office. And I was like, that is not our world now.
That's not anymore.
Oh, my gosh. So and again, with all of these different personalities, like this is where we talk about the balance.
Yes. I think it is. And you know what? That's why I do love like a good team.
Yes.
Because you have a little bit of all these, you know, but it does make people different. It balances people and it makes us healthy because it's good to see both sides. Yeah. But it is funny that you tend to see, and a lot of those extreme other ways does kind of drive you crazy.
Yeah. But I think it's also where you can learn from each other.
Oh, 100%.
It's where the strengths come into play. Like I have friends that are very organized and have all their things together, and I feel organized, but in my own way. But there's certain things I miss.
No, me too.
But those people also need me to get them out of their shell for some of these things. Agree. So I think that's why we are all different, and it works.
I agree. Yeah. And that's what makes us great teachers. So, all right. So this week I have been, we started PACE. We've had a great turnout, and so my devotion time is getting ready to come up, and I just felt like God was telling me about his faithfulness to us, how he is faithful for different things. And so as I've been looking at these scriptures, I've found like Psalms 36:5, your steadfast love, O Lord, extends to the heavens, your faithfulness to the clouds. And then there's also Lamentations 3:22-23, the steadfast love of the Lord never ceases, his mercy never comes to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. And, this week Maddie had kind of a medical scare, and we actually had to spend a whole day in the ER, and they were afraid that she had a pulmonary embolism, a blood clot in the lungs is what they thought. Yes. And it ended up like the test came back and they're like, yes, you're going to have a CAT scan. That's what it looks like. And, during going through those things, you think, God, please don't let it be there. You're concerned and you're worried. And when they did the CAT scan, they came back, it was no blood clot. And we're like, praise the God. Oh. But they found that she had really bad pneumonia that was from her lungs almost to their heart. Oh they did a chest x-ray. It did not show up. If they had not done the CAT scan, they would have never found it. And she was really sick. And I thought, God is faithful, even during our trials and our hard times. And it was so weird because I have been reading all these scriptures this last 2 weeks as I've been studying and praying for my time at the PACE. and everything's about God's faithfulness. And even through all that day, that's the scriptures that kept coming to my mind. And I think I just wanted to remind everyone that no matter what you're going through, and just because he's faithful doesn't mean your life's going to be perfect and you're not going to get the answers you want. I mean, we were very fortunate this week, but he is, no matter what, he's faithful and he's steadfast. And no matter what you're going through, I just wanted you to be reminded that he is always there. He's always with you, and he never, ever will leave you.
I'm thinking about your new students that you have this year.
Yeah.
You know, like as you're kind of figuring them out and they're figuring you out, I know first quarter can be tough with all of that, and just continuing to pray about it and realizing God will be faithful. I mean,
and he's placed them there for a reason.
Yes. Time and time again, I've been like, oh my gosh. Yeah. And then I'm like, by the end, I'm just like, I'm thankful.
Yes.
Because I had those experiences. It made me a better person. It made me a better teacher, a better Christian. There's a lot of different pieces with it. And 100%. You hope that you're also having that impact on the kids. Yes. So I love that.
And if it's overwhelming right now, because I do know I have some friends here that feel very overwhelmed right now.
Yeah.
But I promise you, God will walk beside you and he will give you the strength. He'll give you the encouragement, and he'll give you the wisdom of how to handle that classroom, your other teachers, whatever you're going through, he will be your steadfast. And so I just thought it was a great reminder.
I love that.
So anyway, hey, listen, we hope you have a great week. We'll do our surprise next week.
Yep. So be ready. Be paying attention to our socials. So be paying attention on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. And then, I don't know, we may have some things that roll out on YouTube even.
Oh, well, you never know. See. So you know what? Stay by your computer. Stay on your social media because you do not want to miss this. This is very exciting. I'm afraid you might be disappointed, but don't be.
Don't be. It's going to be great.
Anyway. All right, so have a good week. This is Listen.